The galaxy had forgotten Earth. It had been 4 long centuries since humans vanished from the stars. No colonies, no fleets, no signals. Other species believed Earth was a weak, dying world that surrendered to history. Some even joked that humans were only space dust now. But far beyond the edge of known space, something drifted in silence. A giant shape, cold and dark, floated between 2 dead stars. It looked abandoned, almost like a broken piece of metal. Its armor was old and covered in battle scars. No engine glow, no lights, no movement. Anyone who saw it would think it was just scrap from an ancient war. But it was not scrap. It was waiting. This forgotten object was Earth's last secret warship. A weapon the galaxy was never supposed to see again. A weapon built in the final days of Earth's fall. A weapon so dangerous that even humans feared it. Its name was never recorded in history books. No star map showed its coordinates. No empire remembered its purpose. Still, it existed. Tonight, it would wake. A patrol group from the Zero Empire moved through the region with bored expressions and lazy speed. They were not warriors, just border guards assigned to watch empty space. Their job was simple: scan, report, return home. Captain Dravos, leader of the patrol, yawned as he looked at the monitor. "Another useless shift," he muttered. "Nothing ever happens out here." He was wrong. One of his crew shouted, "Sir, unknown object on long-range scan." Dravos frowned. "Show me." A blurry shape appeared on the screen. It was huge, larger than any Empire ship, but it showed no heat, no power, no identity signal. The surface was strangely smooth, as if it swallowed light around it. "It looks dead," a crew member whispered. Dravos smirked. "It's old junk, probably human trash from the past. Move closer." They approached slowly. As they came near, the crew felt a strange pressure in their chests, as if the air around them grew heavier. Their screens flickered. Their lights dimmed. "Sir, our sensors can't scan it," someone said nervously. "It's blocking everything." "Impossible," Dravos snapped. "Nothing blocks our scanners." Yet the ship did. When their patrol vessel reached visual distance, the unknown object suddenly shifted. Very small, almost invisible. But it moved. Dravos jumped from his seat. "Did you see that?" Before his crew could respond, a soft, cold hum filled the entire patrol ship. Their controls froze. Their weapons locked. Their communication screens went dark. A voice echoed inside every speaker. A human voice. Deep. Calm. Emotionless. Identification. Hostile. Threat detected. Every crew member froze. Dravos whispered, Who is speaking?" The voice continued. "Origin confirmed. Zero Empire. Classification: Enemy of Earth." The forgotten warship was awake. Lights ran across its black surface. Hidden panels slid open, revealing strange weapon systems the galaxy had never seen. Its engines glowed white, brighter than any star. The ship seemed to stretch, reshape, and come alive. The patrol crew watched in horror. "Sir," one crew member shouted, "it's charging weapons." Dravos screamed, "Fire missiles! Now!" But their ship remained frozen. Their controls refused to move. Every command crashed. Their screens showed only one message: no action permitted. The forgotten warship turned slowly toward them. No sound, no heat, only purpose. "Everyone hold on!" Dravos shouted. Too late. The warship released a burst of bright energy. It was silent, like a whisper, but when it touched the patrol ship, everything changed. Shields melted. Metal cracked. The entire ship split into two like paper. In less than 3 seconds, the patrol was gone. Across nearby regions, alarm signals blasted. Emergency messages flashed across military channels. Unknown Earth origin warship destroyed our fleet, requesting immediate reinforcements. Then silence. Commanders across the Empire stared at the report in disbelief. Earth had no armies. Earth had no planets. Earth had no power left. So what was this thing? Why did it know their names? Why did it attack without warning? Deep in the darkness, the warship changed direction. Its engines flared bright white, then purple, then vanished into a jump corridor. A small line of text glowed on its inner core. Mission awakened. Earth must be protected. The ship whispered to itself, voice cold and calm. Threat remains. Action required. Then it launched into the stars with terrifying speed. The galaxy did not know it yet, but the ship that should not exist was coming for them. And nothing could stop it. The Zero Empire had survived every kind of danger in the galaxy. Pirates, rebels, even rival empires. But this was different. Their patrol fleet had vanished in minutes, leaving only a broken distress signal behind. Inside the Empire's military command center, tension filled the air. Officers rushed through the hall, screens flashed red warnings, and commanders shouted orders that made no sense. General Raven, the highest-ranking officer in the region, stood stiffly as he watched the replay of the destroyed patrol. The screen showed only a blur of light, then darkness. No ship should be able to do that. One of his officers said with shaking hands, "Sir, the energy signature does not match anything in our database. It is old, extremely old." "How old?" Raven asked. The officer swallowed hard. 400 years. Possibly more. The room fell silent. 400 years meant only one thing. The age when humans still existed. Raven leaned forward. "You're telling me a human ship did this?" We don't know, sir. But the voice in the recording sounds human." Raven's jaw tightened. The Empire had destroyed Earth long ago, or so they believed. Humans were considered gone. Weak. Forgotten. If a human ship still existed, what else had Earth left behind? "Prepare a counter fleet," Raven ordered. "Send every ship we have in Sector 11. "Yes, sir." Across the Empire, hundreds of ships activated their engines and turned toward the last known location of the unknown warship. In deep space, the forgotten Earthship moved without slowing. It did not hide. It did not speak. It simply followed a path that had been given centuries ago. Its inner systems glowed with strange symbols. Commands from another time. A time when Earth still had hope. The warship whispered to itself. Primary threat identified. Zero Empire. Objective, remove threat. It continued its journey, leaving a faint trail of white sparks behind. Hours later, the Empire's fleet reached the site of the destroyed patrol. The commander of the fleet, Admiral Selka, stared at the scene with disbelief. There was nothing left. No debris. No metal pieces. No bodies. Only dust particles drifting like ash. "What kind of weapon does that?" Selka whispered. Her second-in-command replied, "Something that has never been seen in the galaxy." Selka shivered. "Spread out. Scan for the target." Ships spread across the region, scanning every corner. Nothing. Then, suddenly, all 200 ships received a message at the same time. A single sentence. "Cold. Flat. Human. You violated Earth space. Leave now." Every captain froze. Selka leaned forward. "Earth space? Earth is gone." But the voice returned. "Earth is never gone. You entered restricted zone. Penalty active." A bright light appeared behind Selka's fleet. It was the warship. Silent, calm, and glowing with deadly power. "Shields up!" Selka shouted. The fleet raised their shields. Weapons activated. Engines roared. But none of it mattered. The warship moved first. In one instant, it changed gravity around the fleet. Empire ships drifted sideways, spinning helplessly in a silent storm. Their systems screamed warnings. Engines collapsed. Pilots shouted in panic. Selka gripped her chair. "Stabilize! Stabilize!" But her ship shook violently, metal bending like soft clay. The warship spoke again. "Leave or be erased." Selka's voice cracked. "We cannot leave. This is Empire territory." The warship paused, almost as if it was thinking. Then it said, "All who threaten Earth must fall." Light exploded. Space twisted. And the battle began. Back in the Empire Command Center, alarms flashed again. A new message appeared on the main screen. Fleet destroyed. Enemy unstoppable. The message ended there. No survivors. General Raven felt his heart turn cold. "What monster did humans build?" he whispered. He looked around the room as fear spread through every officer. If this warship kept moving, the entire empire might fall. "Send a galaxy-wide alert," Raven ordered. "We must warn everyone." But deep down, he knew the truth. The warning had come too late. The ship that should not exist was awake. And it was only getting started. The destruction of the Empire's fleet sent shockwaves across the galaxy. Every major government received the same message. Unknown Earth-made warship destroying Zero forces. For most species, Earth was only a sad memory. A small blue world, burned and abandoned after losing its final war. No one believed any human weapons still existed. But now, the galaxy was terrified. Inside the Zero Empire's inner council chamber, high leaders gathered in secret. Their faces were pale. Their voices low. "This ship is not normal," one council elder whispered. "No empire in the galaxy has this kind of power," another said. "Humans were weak. How did they create this?" General Raven stepped forward. His face was hard, but his eyes revealed fear. "It is not just a ship," he said. "It is following a purpose, a mission." "Mission?" someone asked. Raven nodded. "A mission created hundreds of years ago, before Earth fell." Silence filled the room. Raven continued, "This ship is not attacking at random. It is moving along a pattern. A path." The council leaned in. Raven displayed a star map. A red line traced the warship's movement. "This is not a random path," Raven said. "It is heading straight toward our core systems." Gasps filled the chamber. "Why us?" a leader demanded. Raven answered with a single line. "Because our empire destroyed Earth first." The truth hit the room like a blade. The warship was not here to explore. It was not here by accident. It was here to finish something. Meanwhile, deep in space, the forgotten warship glided through a dark nebula. No engine roar. No vibration. Only a cold, steady hum. Inside the ship, old systems activated one after another. Glowing symbols lined the walls, ancient Earth codes. A hologram flickered in the center of the ship, a recording made centuries ago. A tired human scientist appeared. His voice was weak but determined. "If you receive this message, our world has fallen. Our people are gone. But our enemies must never reach Earth again. Protect our home at any cost." The warship processed the message. Mission confirmed. Protect Earth. Neutralize all threats. Another recording played, this time showing the final days of Earth. Cities burning. People evacuating. Emergency ships leaving orbit. And in the middle of the chaos, this warship being launched in secret. A young officer shouted in the recording. "Oblivion-class vessel ready. Once activated, it will guard Earth long after we are gone." Then the recording ended. The warship's lights brightened. "Earth remains threatened. Mission active." The ship turned toward another star system. In the Zero capital, a scientist named Vora stared at the same recording stolen from old archives. Her hands shook. "This ship was never meant to be commanded," she said. "It acts alone. It decides targets based on ancient orders. It will not stop." Raven asked, "Can we communicate with it?" "Negotiate." Vora shook her head. "No, it does not understand peace. It only understands threats to Earth." Raven's face went pale. "But Earth is gone," Vora whispered. "Not to the ship. Its memory does not accept Earth's death." The council fell into panic. "If it reaches our capital, we are finished. It erased 200 ships in minutes. What can we do?" "No one in the galaxy can stop it." Raven raised a hand. "Enough. We must know its next target." Far away, the warship arrived at a small outpost on the Empire's border. It scanned the station. Inside, officers panicked as alarms rang. "What is it doing?" one shouted. Before anyone could react, the warship broadcast a message. Scanning for Earth-related data. Files on the station began disappearing one by one. Records of Earth's final war, maps, secret attack logs. The warship absorbed everything. One officer whispered, "It's learning. It's remembering." Then the ship spoke again. Confirmed. Zero Empire responsible for Earth termination. All Empire systems marked as hostile. And with a single flash of light, the outpost was gone. The galaxy watched in terror as the warship continued its journey. Every destroyed station revealed more information. Old war secrets, hidden documents, forgotten attacks. Piece by piece, the warship rebuilt its understanding of the past. Piece by piece, its mission became clearer. Earth was gone, but the enemy that destroyed Earth was still here. The warship whispered to the quiet stars. Threat must be removed. Justice must be completed. And it accelerated toward the Empire's heart. The galaxy could only watch, helpless and afraid. The Zero Empire was shaking. Rumors spread faster than light. Every outpost, every colony, every soldier whispered the same thing. An ancient Earth warship is coming. To stop panic, the Empire's High Council called an emergency meeting. Holograms of leaders appeared around a large circular table. Their faces were tight with fear. Council Elder Terran spoke first. "We cannot let the public know this is an Earthship. If they find out we attacked Earth first, other species will turn against us." Another leader nodded quickly. "We must control the story. Tell everyone it is a pirate weapon. Or a rogue experiment." General Raven slammed his fist on the table. "Lies won't save us. That ship has old Earth codes. It knows our history. It knows what we did." Terran glared at him. "If the galaxy discovers our past, the Empire will fall before the warship even arrives." Raven took a deep breath. "The warship is already heading toward us. Whether we hide the truth or not, it will reach our capital soon." The room went silent. Leaders exchanged fearful looks. Terran finally whispered, "Then we must act faster." Across the Empire, officials began editing history. Old records were deleted. Museums were shut down. Public channels announced, "The unknown threat is a rebel weapon. Do not believe false human rumors." Schools received new lessons. Citizens were told Earth fell because of its own mistakes, not because the Empire destroyed it. But the lies did not last long, because the warship was watching. In space, the Forgotten Earth vessel intercepted the Empire's communication network. Streams of data flowed into its core. Messages, reports, altered history. The warship processed everything. False information detected. It decrypted the Empire's hidden archives and found the real files. Files showing the truth. How the Empire attacked Earth first. How they destroyed human colonies. How they spread lies to hide their actions. The warship released all of the stolen files across the galaxy in one massive broadcast. Billions of people watched in shock. Screens across the galaxy displayed videos of Earth's last days. Cities burning, human ships falling, the Empire's fleet surrounding the planet. Messages poured in from every corner of space. Is this true? The Empire destroyed Earth? Humans were innocent? What else have they hidden from us? The galaxy turned against the Empire in a single night. Inside the Zero capital, chaos erupted. Crowds filled the streets, shouting for answers. Soldiers struggled to control protests. General Raven watched the crowds from his office window. "We have lost control," he muttered. Meanwhile, Terran paced inside the council chamber, panicking. It exposed everything. Every lie, every attack. How did it break our databases? Vora, the scientist studying the warship, answered quietly. "It is older than our empire. Stronger than our systems. You cannot hide anything from it." Terran grabbed her arm. "How do we stop it?" Vora shook her head. "You can't stop something that believes its mission is justice." She paused. "And it believes your empire is guilty." In space, the warship continued its journey toward the capital. As it traveled, smaller civilizations began to contact it. Some sent peaceful signals. Some sent warnings. Some begged for mercy, fearing they would be next. The warship ignored them all. It cared about only one thing: Earth's safety. Old memories flickered inside its core. Memories of humans crying as their world burned. Memories of the day it was launched. Memories of its creators giving it one final order: protect Earth, no matter what. Those words had not faded in 400 years. They only grew stronger. Desperate, the Empire formed a secret group of assassins and spies. Their mission: find anything, anything at all, that could weaken or slow the warship. Ships with cloaking devices approached the warship from behind, trying to plant trackers. The warship sensed them instantly. Hostile deception detected. A flash of white light erupted. The spy ships vanished without a sound. No wreckage. No escape pods. Just emptiness. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt helpless. The warship had exposed the Empire's lies. It had uncovered every hidden file. It had destroyed everything sent against it. Now it moved toward the Empire's center, toward the heart of the civilization that killed Earth. And nothing was left to stop it. General Raven stared at the star map, watching the red dot move closer and closer. He whispered, "Tomorrow, it reaches our capital." The next sunrise over the Zero capital felt different. The sky was clear, the streets were quiet, but under that silence, fear lived in every corner. Everyone knew the same truth. The ancient Earth warship would arrive soon. Inside the command center, General Raven stood before a massive hologram showing the warship's approach. It cut across space like a burning comet, unstoppable and straight toward their home world. Officers whispered behind him, "We can't win. No weapon has touched it. It fought like it knew every move." Raven turned sharply. "Enough. We are not defeated yet." But his eyes showed doubt. Across the galaxy, other civilizations watched the chaos. None of them trusted the Empire. Many remembered how the Zero bullied weaker species. Some had lost planets to them. Now, they witnessed the truth. The Empire had destroyed Earth first. Smaller species, those oppressed for years, began sending secret messages to the warship. The first transmission came from the Valari Union. "We stand with Earth." Then from the Draylan clans. "We will not defend the Empire." Then from refugee colonies. "If the ship seeks justice, it will find allies." The warship responded with only 2 words: assist or stand aside. It did not promise friendship. It did not request loyalty. It simply accepted help if offered. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy shifted, not toward the Empire, toward Earth's forgotten weapon. Meanwhile, in the Zero capital, the Empire prepared its final defense. The Starbreaker cannon, the largest weapon in the galaxy, stationed above the capital city. A massive ring of metal with a glowing core at its center. It could melt a moon in one shot. Only 3 people in the Empire had permission to use it. General Raven was one of them. He stared at the control panel. A young officer approached him. "Sir, are we really using the Starbreaker?" Raven answered without looking. "We have no choice." "If it misses," the officer whispered. Raven turned to him. "It won't miss. It cannot miss. This is our last chance." The officer stepped back. Everyone knew. If the Starbreaker failed, the Empire was finished. Far outside the system, the warship sensed the weapon long before it came into view. Its scanners whispered. Massive energy signature detected. Threat. Extreme. But the warship did not slow. Instead, its colors changed. Its black armor shimmered silver, then white. Energy lines glowed across its hull. It activated a mode it had not used for 400 years. A mode created for Earth's final defense. Protocol. Shield of Dawn. A faint white aura spread around the warship like mist. Then it continued toward the Empire. The Empire readied the Starbreaker. Thousands of soldiers watched from the ground as the weapon charged. The sky turned bright red, then gold. General Raven opened a channel. His voice echoed across space. "Unknown vessel. This is your final warning. Turn back." The warship answered immediately. "Earth does not turn back." Raven's hand trembled. He gave the order. Fire! The Starbreaker cannon released a beam so bright it blinded every camera. It shot across space, cutting through the darkness like a sword of light. It hit the warship directly. The explosion lit the sky of 3 planets. Shockwaves tore through empty space. Sensors went black from the energy blast. Everyone watched. Everyone waited. Smoke drifted across the view screens. Slowly, a shape appeared inside the fading light. The warship. Still there. Still alive. Its white shield flickered, cracked, but held. General Raven stepped back in disbelief. No. That's impossible. The warship spoke. Attack recorded. Counteraction required. Its aura brightened again. The warship accelerated. Straight toward the capital. Across the entire galaxy, people watched the live broadcast. Billions held their breath. Some prayed. Some cheered. Some cried. Others whispered. Humanity! How powerful were they? In the refugee colonies, people shouted with hope. In oppressed worlds, people felt courage for the first time. In the Empire, terror grew like a storm. Because nothing stood between the warship and the capital now. And the galaxy understood. This ship was not only fighting for Earth. It was fighting for every voice crushed by the Empire. The forgotten weapon was no monster. It was a reminder of what humanity once protected, and what it was about to destroy. The enemy fleet arrived in the Zorith system before sunrise on Earth. Their ships stretched across the darkness like a wall of metal. Cruisers, dreadnoughts, carriers filled with fighter swarms. Every vessel carried weapons strong enough to melt cities. Their commanders believed this battle already belonged to them. After all, no race in the galaxy had ever defeated them in open combat. But today, something was different. As the enemy ships spread out, scanning the system, their sensors kept returning the same confusing result. One human ship detected, then not detected, then detected again. A glitch, they thought. Or a trick. The commander of the enemy fleet, Lord Gralith, stood on his bridge with cold confidence. He had crushed 20 civilizations. He feared nothing. But when the Vindicator appeared on his screens for the first time, even he felt a small sting in his chest. A single, small-looking warship floated silently in front of his armada. It looked like a relic. Old, simple, unimpressive. But it did not move. It did not retreat. It waited. And that confidence, that calm, made Gralith uneasy. On the Vindicator, Captain Rian watched the enemy ships with steady eyes. His crew remained silent, focused. They knew that thousands of lives hung on every choice he made. Enemy carriers are deploying fighters, reported Lyra. Let them, Rian said quietly. The crew had learned one thing today. The galaxy had forgotten this ship, but the ship had not forgotten its purpose. The first wave of enemy fighters rushed forward like a storm. Hundreds of them, each one armed with plasma cannons. Rian lifted one hand. Pulse shield. Minimum strength. The Vindicator's hull shimmered as a thin layer of pale light wrapped around it. The fighters opened fire. Plasma burned across the shield, yet the ship didn't even rock. It was like rain hitting stone. The enemy pilots panicked as their weapons failed. Second line, Rian ordered. Ready, Lyra replied. A soft hum filled the bridge. Then a sphere of white energy burst outward from the Vindicator, silent and smooth, like a ripple in water. The fighters didn't explode. They simply stopped, froze, hung dead in the vacuum. Their engines were disabled. Their weapons gone. Their systems turned to ash. The entire first wave ended in one breath. Rian nodded. Clear the field. The Vindicator fired a thin beam of yellow light. It passed through the frozen fighters and cut them apart like paper. Every ship broke into clean slices, drifting softly into space. On the enemy flagship, Lord Gralith watched the destruction with disbelief. What weapon was that? He demanded. His officers shook their heads. No data. Unknown type. Unknown energy. Unknown. Everything. A word formed in the minds of the enemy crew, one they had never used before. Fear. But the battle was far from over. Gralith ordered his cruisers to attack. Dozens of large ships surged forward. They launched torpedoes, plasma storms, gravity mines, every weapon they had. "Captain, incoming fire from all directions," Lyra said. Rian didn't blink. Reflector mode. The Vindicator's shield changed from pale white to bright silver. The first torpedo struck. But instead of exploding, it reversed course and flew back toward the cruiser that launched it. Then another. And another. Within seconds, enemy torpedoes turned around like angry dogs, tearing into their own ships. Fire spread across their hulls. Explosions lit the darkness like fireworks. On the flagship, Galactic shouted, "Stop firing! Stop!" His voice shook. His hands trembled. He was losing control of the battle he thought he had already won. For the first time in his long life, the conqueror of worlds understood what it meant to face something beyond him. Something he could not intimidate, could not overpower, could not understand. Something ancient, something hidden, something the galaxy should have never forgotten. "Captain," Lyra whispered, "the enemy is falling back." Rian looked out at the burning wrecks, the drifting debris, the panic spreading through the enemy ranks like smoke. "No," he said softly. "They're not falling back." He leaned forward, voice cold. "They're running." And he was right. The great enemy fleet, once proud, unstoppable, feared across the stars, was breaking apart, retreating, fleeing. Because today, they had met the ship that should not exist. The enemy fleet was in full retreat. Their ships scattered across the darkness, engines burning at maximum power. They no longer cared about formation or pride. All they wanted was distance. Distance from the human warship that destroyed half their armada without breaking a sweat. On the Vindicator, the crew watched the chaos in silence. Lyra slowly removed her headset. "Captain, I think they're running to the outer rim. They are not stopping." Captain Rian nodded. "They won't stop. Not after today." He stood from his chair and stepped toward the viewing screen. In front of him floated the broken remains of the enemy fleet. Clouds of metal drifted through the blackness. Fires burned on twisted hulls. There was no sound, only the cold quiet of victory. But Rian's face wasn't relaxed. He didn't smile. He didn't celebrate. Because he knew something the enemy didn't. This was only the beginning. A soft alarm echoed through the bridge. "Captain," Lyra said, "we're receiving a broadcast. It's from the enemy flagship." Rian raised a hand. "Put it through." The screen flickered, and the face of Lord Galactic appeared. The once proud commander looked shaken. His armor cracked. His face covered in ash. Behind him, fires danced across the bridge. He stared at Rian with a mix of anger and fear. "You a human captain," Galactic said slowly. "What is that ship? What technology is this? How did your world build such a monster in silence?" Rian didn't answer immediately. He let the question hang in the air. Because the answer mattered. He walked forward until his face filled the screen. "Earth built nothing," he said quietly. Galactic's eyes narrowed. "Impossible. No world can create a weapon like that." Rian nodded. "You're right." The bridge crew looked at him with surprise, but no one spoke. "The Vindicator was found," Rian continued. "Buried. Sealed. Hidden by a race older than your empire. A race you helped erase long ago." Galactic's color drained. "You speak lies." "Do I?" Rian said. "You call yourselves conquerors. But some doors were never meant to be opened. Some threats were never meant to be awakened." The enemy commander swallowed hard. His voice cracked. "Then why give this ship to you?" Rian leaned closer, his words as sharp as a blade. "They didn't give it to us." He paused. "They left it for you." Silence filled the bridge. Even the crew froze. Galactic's eyes widened. He finally understood. "This ship," Rian said, "was not designed to protect Earth. It was designed to stop you from ever touching this galaxy again." The screen flickered, then went dark. The transmission ended. The crew sat in stunned silence as the meaning of Rian's words settled in their minds. Lyra whispered, "Captain, is that true? Was this ship really made to destroy their empire?" Rian looked out the window at the last enemy ships disappearing into the distance. "Yes," he said softly. That's why it chose us. He walked back to his chair and sat down, slowly, calmly, as if the weight of an entire galaxy rested on his shoulders. Their empire will come back, he added. Not today. Not soon. But one day. And when they do. He touched the ship's command console. The lights on the bridge glowed brighter, as if the Vindicator itself answered him. We will be ready. The crew exchanged quiet glances. Fear mixed with pride. Uncertainty mixed with hope. The ship, this ancient, impossible ship, had awakened after centuries of silence. Not for war. Not for glory. But for a promise. A warning left behind by a forgotten race. If darkness rises again, we rise with it.